Hi madam, I'm Dachani. This video we're going to talk about exported Malaysian palm oil to India.
Palm oil is a type of vegetable oil made from the fruit of the oil palm tree. The oil palm tree originates from West Africa, where it grows in the wild and later was developed into an agricultural crop. Each tree produces compact bunches weighing between 10 to 25 kilograms with 1000 to 3000 fruitlets per bunch. The fruitlets is dark purple, almost black, and the color turns to orange red when it ripe. Each fruitlet consists of a hard kernel enclosed in a shell which is surrounded by a fleshy mesocap. These trees are commonly found in tropical regions such as Indonesia and Malaysia. Palm oil is a very important substance in our life considering it is found in practically everything we use such as cosmetics, cleaning supplies and food. According to the World Wildlife Fund, about 50% of packaged products in local supermarkets contain palm oil. The growing population and demand for products containing palm oil have increased, resulting in the number and size of plantations to increase. In 1985, 1.5 million hectares were planted with palm tree and it had increased to 4.3 million hectares in 2007. It has become the most important commodity crop in Malaysia. As of 2011, the total planted area was 4.917 million hectares. In 2011, Malaysia's exports reached almost 39.04 million tons, of which Malaysia's share was 46%. Malaysia manufacturers have installed the most extensive and efficient refining and fractionation facilities. India is the largest importer of palm oil from worldwide. Nearly half of the India's import of overall edible oil in January was from Malaysia. Malaysia became the largest exporter of palm oil to many countries such as India, European Union, China, Pakistan and more. In first half of 2018, India imported 1389158 tons of palm oil. The Solvent Extractor Association said this amounted to more than 500,000 tons of palm oil out of the 1.07 million tons it imported. The imports from Malaysia comprise 497,337 tons of crude palm oil, 9,204 tons of crude palm kernel oil, and 2,701 tons of RBD palm oil. CE said India's CPO imports from Malaysia in January were 23% higher than the December purchase. It shows that the demand for the palm oil in India is higher. As a palm oil exporter, I think we have the great opportunity to participate in this industry to export more palm oil to India. The trade policies in India. Trade policy that exporters and importers must refer in the country is EXIM policy of Indian Government of India, and it is regulated by Foreign Trade Development and Regulation Act 1992. Import regulations and policies pertaining to palm oil. Import license or import permit has to be obtained from the country's government for importation of the commodity. The government will also require the import history for the past 3 years to supplement the import authorization applications. Pre-purchase agreement has to be formed. The import license will be valid for 6 months rather than the earlier validity of 18 months. Authorized importers who fail to use their quotas will be barred from receiving license in the future. The rules procedures relating to the import of palm oil. Three categories of procedures are required to import palm oil. The first one-time registration procedures to act as an importer in the country. The second, specific import license. Third, certain certification from concerned government agencies. After registration and import license, importers are required to furnish import declaration in a prescribed bill of entry along with permanent account number, base business identification number, as per section 46 of the Customs Act 1962. Custom clearance procedures in the country. There are mainly three categories of permissions required to take import clearance from the customs. The first one, permission from country's custom authorities. The second one, permission from carrier of goods. The third one, permission from custodian of cargo handling at particular import custom port. The carrier of imported goods in exporting country files IGMS Import General Manifest with importing country's destination port customs authorities. If importers is unable to customs clear the imported shipment in the country port within the prescribed 3 days on arrival, importer may have to pay storage charge to custodian of cargo. After delivery of cargo, necessary customs import process has to be completed to take delivery out of customs area. The necessary proof for completion of import customs clearance procedures and delivery order permission from carrier has to be submitted with custodian of cargo to release import cargo to the importer.
Rules and export regulations prescribed by the Malaysian authority. Export prohibition order falls under the Section 31 of the Customs Act 1967 and provides for the three schedules which identifies the product under the Organised Custom Tariff Code and the respective agencies for issuing export license allowing the exportations of goods. The three schedules are the first schedule, absolute prohibition of export from Malaysia. Second and third schedule require export license from relevant agencies. Now we're going to look at Strategies Trade Act. This act provides control over the export, transshipment, transit, and brokering of palm oil that will or may facilitate the development of WMD and their delivery systems. Transactions of items under STA. To take or to cause to be taken out of Malaysia, any items by land, sea or by air or to any place. Any items to a conveyance for the purpose of such items to be taken out of Malaysia. Transship under STA is to remove items from the conveyance to which they were brought into Malaysia and to place the items on the same or another conveyance for the purpose of taking them out of Malaysia, where these acts are carried out on a true bill of lading, through airway bill or manifest. Permit under STA. The STA lays down an application for a permit or special permit for export, transship or transit of the items to be made to the relevant authority in the accordance to the regulations made under the Act and to be accompanied with the end use statements and additional documents if required. The law related to the export of palm oil. So to export palm oil out of Malaysia, you need to have license for it. To import or export goods which require a license, traders must first register with the Companies Commission of Malaysia. After doing that, under the regulation, Palm Oil Board Regulation 2005 states that any person who carry out an activity that need to be licensed shall first get their license from MPOB, and it can be made online via My License MPOB for major category of license. After getting a license, you need to have certificate of origin. The Malaysian International Chamber of Commerce and Industry (MICCI) is authorized by the Ministry of International Trade and Industry (MITI) to issue certificates of origin for goods exported to any country in the world. They can be applied at their main office or any of the MICC regional offices in Malaysia. Malaysia has also made sure to have companies get halal certificates to export even non-meat products like palm oil to other countries. Before exporting, they also have to get custom export declaration from Malaysia and has to state what you are going to export and where. The type of carriage we'll use to ship the product. We have gone ahead and chose sea transportation, which is by ship as a type of carriage. Why? Firstly, because of cost effective. India is not a country which is rich financially, so by this method, cost can be saved in terms of transportation. Air transportations also cost way more than sea transportation due to the fact that in our business we are transporting palm oil in big amounts so that it will be cheaper by ship. The other reason is because of the safe travels. Containers are locked up securely in transit to keep the products safe during the route to the other country. Next is because of the larger volume. In our case, we are focusing our product based on palm oil. It is much easier to export larger volume of palm oil by ship as we are going to be using containers rather than transportation by air carriage. It is also a smooth flow of transportation. The ship easily rolls or is lifted carefully into the cargo area of the merchant vessel. It is secured on board, and this way there is also less tendency of delay happening due to less factors that could affect the delay from happening in the first place. The relevant international treaties you should be aware of. Since the palm oil will be transported by the sea mode using ship, we will use Hague rule. There are two main types of contract which are used in when we speak about transportations of goods by sea. First is a bill of lading contract, and second one is a charter party contract. Malaysia usually uses bill of lading contract to ship palm oil to India. Bill of lading contract is entered into when the shipper needs to only use some space on the ship to transport a general cargo. The shipper will load the goods over to the ship, then the carrier through the shipmaster will issue the bill of lading contract, which will be the evidence of the carriage of goods contract. Bill of lading contract are subjected to the three regimens which govern the carriage of goods by sea, namely the Hague Rule, the Hague-Visby Rules, and the Hamburg Rules. Malaysia has only adopted the Hague Rule for now. Let's say a charter party contract is used instead, there will be common law duties the ship owners must perform, which are the duty to provide a seaworthy ship, duty to proceed with due dispatch, duty to carry goods without deviation, duty to take reasonable care of the cargo, and duty to deliver goods at the port of discharge. But in a situation where the Hague Rule is applicable, like in Malaysia, these duties will be modified by the rules and take precedence over the common law. First, I'll be talking about the duty to provide a seaworthy ship. Under Hague Rule, by the carrier's duty to exercise due diligence to make the ship seaworthy before and at the beginning of the voyage only. Their duty is to make the ship seaworthy, to properly man, equip, and supply the ship, and make the holds refrigerating and cool chambers, and all the other parts of the ship in which goods are carried fit and safe for their reception, carriage, and preservation, and also relevant documentation that are required on the board ship, which are the health certificate, consular manifest, deratization certificate, and ITF blue card. Without all of these, the ship will not be seaworthy. The obligation to provide a seaworthy vessel is classified as an innominate obligation. Next is duty to proceed with due dispatch. Ship supplied by the carrier must be ready to commence the voyage with due dispatch and must not delay or purposely use a longer route. This is so that the ship will reach on time to the destination. Usually expressly stipulated in the contract to the law will imply the term if the contract is silent. If the shipmaster does not follow this, it will be a breach of duty. Then the duty to carry goods without deviation. The vessel is not allowed to deviate from the agreed voyage unless it is to save a life. If there is no express stipulation in the contract, the most direct geographical route between the port of holding and the port of discharge will be assumed. Court will consider the customary route taken by the ship lines or the carrier concerned. Deviation is a fundamental term of the contract, breach of it and will end the obligation existing under the contract of carriage.